Hello, friends and family. Thanks for joining me as always as I continue my journey on learning the Igbo language of Southeast Nigeria, which of course is my ancestral tongue. And so I'm trying to learn. It's been about 10 months on the dot of me studying the language, and hopefully I'm getting closer and closer to being a little bit fluent. I know it's going to take me years to really be used to the language and be able to do it in a conversational way, but hey, you have to start somewhere. So I thank you for joining me. This is going to be part 3 of 3 on the subtopic of traveling in the Igbo language of Nigeria. And I'm going to go over items 101 to 144 from my studies on the topic. So let me not procrastinate and go ahead and do it. So I'm going to go down to items 101. And thank you for learning along with me for those that have been following along in this 10-month journey or whenever you may have joined me. But the first word then would be Odibo Wahn-yea, which means maid. And as always, I like to give you the literal translation of the words because it seems to make more sense to me. So Odibo means servant and Wahn-yea means woman. So you're saying servant woman being maid. So again, it's Odibo Wahn-yea, maid. For a manager, you would say Ọnye En-Gee-Kwah. That's Ọnye En-Gee-Kwah for a manager. And that's broken down in the root words of Aun-Yae, which means a person, and En-Gee-Kwah, which means managing. So a person that's managing is a manager. So again, it's Ọnye En-Gee-Kwah, manager. Okay, the next one, when you're traveling, you may want to stop and get a massage. And I will pronounce this one as Ea-Hea Ah-Ka Nah-Hoe. Ea-Hea Ah-Ka Nah-Hoe, which means massage. Now this one I cannot break down in its literal translation, but again, putting all the words together would be Ea-Hea Ah-Ka Nah-Hoe for a massage. Okay, the next one is meeting room. But it's more literally you're saying meeting house, but you just basically put it in English words and it becomes meeting room. So you pronounce it Oh-Lau Nzuko, meeting room. Oh-Lau Nzuko, meeting room. And if those words break down as Oh-Lau, which means house, and Nzuko means meeting. So house of meeting is a meeting house, or how we would say it in English, meeting room. Oh-Lau Nzuko, meeting room. Microwave actually has 3 words that is used to describe that device. And it would be Ngwa, Ndakwa, En-Ree, which is microwave. Broken down as follows: Ngwa, which means machine, Ndakwa means to microwave, and En-Ree means food. So you're saying machine to microwave food, which is a microwave for short in English. So again, it would be Ngwa, Ndakwa, En-Ree, microwave. Okay, minibar. Typically, it's one of the money-making things that you will find in your hotel room when you're traveling. And really, which is interesting, the literal translation would be small house of alcohol. Is what that's really saying for minibar. But it would be described as follows in Igbo: Ọbere-Lau Mmanya. Au-Bay-Roe-Lau, Mmanya. Let me say it again. I made a mistake. Au-Bay-Roe-Lau, Mmanya. Au-Bay-Roe-Lau, Mmanya. And it comes from the root words Ọbere, which means small, Au-Lau, house, and Mmanya, which means alcohol. So again, you're saying small house of alcohol, meaning minibar. So Ọbere-Roe-Lau, Mmanya. Ọbere-Roe-Lau, Mmanya, minibar. A newspaper. And again, in Igbo, you would describe the subject first and then the adjective after most of the time. There's some exceptions to that from what I'm finding out in my studies. But you're really, in order to say newspaper, you're saying paper news. And again, like most languages in the world, the subject comes first and then the adjective. English seems to be a little different than a lot of languages in the world, that is. So again, you're doing a subject and then the adjective. So it would be Ah-kwoe-kwau for newspaper. Now again, in Igbo also, it's just like in English. Sometimes like when you make a contraction in English, you drop a letter or two. And so the same thing in this case with newspaper. You're dropping what I'm calling an A in Ah-kwoe-kwau, the second word, and just taking it out all together and running the two words together. And that's pretty common, it sounds like, in Igbo, that's being done to shorten things and make things sound a little bit more pronounceable or easy to pronounce, is what I'm gathering. Because when the vowels do drop like that, it does make the words easier to say, in my opinion. So again, newspaper is Ah-kwoe-kwau, and it comes from the the original words or the root words Ah-kwoe-kwau, which would be paper, and Ah-kwoe-kwau, which is news. So you're saying paper of news, which means newspaper in English. So again, it's Ah-kwoe-kwau, newspaper. All right, newsstand. You're basically just adding a word to the words for newspaper. And so you're basically just saying Au-Doe Ah-kwoe-kwau, which is newsstand. So again, it breaks down in the root words. It would be Au-Doe, which means basically a station or a place for something. And then you have Ah-kwoe-kwau, which is paper, and Ah-kwoe-kwau, news. So you're saying, basically, roughly translated, you're saying stand for papers of news. In other words, stand for newspapers. So newsstand is how we would say it shortly in English. So again, it's Au-Doe Ah-kwoe-kwau, newsstand. Okay, no smoking. It's a little more involved in being able to say that in an Igbo language, but it's Au-Bay-Roe-Lau, An-Woe-Roe, which means non-smoking area or no smoking area, how you want to say it. But it will break down as follows. Au-Bay means place, and then you're describing what type of place it is. So Au-Bay is place. An-Yea, which means no or not. And then the last two words mean smoke. An-Woe-Roe means smoke. So again, you're saying the place of not smoking. In other words, no smoking. So no smoking area is how you translated that. So again, it's Au-Bay An-Yea An-Woe-Roe, which means no smoking area. Pets are An-Know-Oh-Lau, pets. An-Know-Oh-Lau, pets. No pets, you're just adding the word no basically to it, or not. It would be Achai An-Know-Oh-Lau, no pets. So again, Achai, what means not, and An-Know-Oh-Lau means pets. So no pets is the same thing as saying no pets allowed. So Achai An-Know-Oh-Lau, no pets. Indoor pool. Sometimes we're looking for those when it comes to the hotels we stay at. And it's Au-Doe Mmiri-Ime-Lau, which is indoor pool. And those words break down as follows. Au-Doe Mmiri means pool, and Ime-Lau means room. So you're saying pool in the room, which means indoor pool. So again, it's Au-Doe Mmiri-Ime-Lau, indoor pool. Again, Au-Doe Mmiri-Ime-Lau, indoor pool. For an outdoor pool, be similar, just basically saying pool and describing the type that it is, and it's going to be outdoor pool. So it's Au-Doe Mmiri-Nezi, outdoor pool. Again, this breaks down as Au-Doe Mmiri, which means pool, and after that you're saying what type? Nezi, which means outdoor. So you're saying pool outdoors, which we'll turn it around in English to say outdoor pool. So it's Au-Doe Mmiri-Nezi, outdoor pool. Queen size bed. We've already talked about king size bed on another lesson, so we need to talk about queen size bed. And it would be Wahn-yea for queen size bed. And again, you're describing the subject at hand, which is Ah-kwoe, which means bed. And the next word would be Eze, which means king, but then you describe the type of king. It's a Nwanyị, which means woman or female king, which we call a queen. So again, you're saying bed for a queen, for queen size bed. So you would say Ah-kwoe-Eze Wahn-yea. You say it again. Ah-kwoe-Eze Wahn-yea, queen size bed. Okay, for parking, which you'll have to have at airports, it'd be En-Dobe Obala for parking. En-Dobe means secured or a place prepared for it, secured area for a car. Obala means land vehicle. Technically, it means Oba, which means vehicle, and Ala, land. So vehicle for land, which we call car. So it's En-Dobe Obala parking. Okay, receipt. For anything that you purchase, you always want a receipt for proof of ownership and in case you have to return anything, just like anywhere else. So you would say Ah-kwoe-kwau Ngwa ịhịa. Actually, I said that incorrectly because you're supposed to drop one of the A's there. And you would drop the A in ịhịa. So let me say it again. So it's Ah-kwoe-kwau Ngwa ịhịa, receipt. Ah-kwoe-kwau Ngwa ịhịa, receipt. And again, that breaks down as Ah-kwoe-kwau, which you've heard quite a bit in this lesson, which means paper. And what type of paper is it? So you're describing it with the next two words, which is En-Gwah, which means merchandise. So you're saying paper for your merchandise, or paper that comes with your merchandise, is your receipt. So again, it's Ah-kwoe-kwau En-Gwah, receipt. Reception desk. First place that you have to check in to have admission into a hotel. It would be Oche in-bata. Oche in-nabata. Let me say it that way. So Oche means desk. In-nabata means of admission. So the desk for admission we call the reception desk. So it's Oche in-nabata, reception desk. Refrigerator is free-G. Free-G for refrigerator. Again, that's free-G, refrigerator. To make a reservation, it would be called Indopota for reservation. Indopota, reservation. Restaurant's a little bit more involved, but it's a very creative way of saying it in Igbo, which I appreciate. To say restaurant, you would say Ola-Oriri na Anono for restaurant. And what that basically means is this, when broken down to its root words, it's Ola, which means house. Oriri means food, so you're saying house of food. Na means and Anono means drink. So in essence, you're saying house of food and drink, which means restaurant. So then it becomes Ola-Oriri na Anono for restaurant. Okay, moving on up to the next one, which is room number. And it almost sounds like English in a way, at least the beginning. It's Namba Imeola for room number. And you're saying Namba, which means number, and Imeola for room. So number of the room is the room number. So it's Namba Imeola, room number. Okay, for room service, for those of us that can afford it, not always attainable for me, but for some, you would say Ndakwa Imeola, room service. So Ndakwa means service and Imeola is room. So service for the room is room service. So Ndakwa Imeola, room service. Shawa is shower. Shawa, shower. Auto tax. Auto tax. Ingazo means tip. Ingazo, tip. Okay, another type of bed you may run into while you're traveling is a twin bed. And so again, you just use the regular word for bed, Ah-kwoe, and then you describe the type afterwards, which is Ejima. So Ah-kwoe Ejima is twin bed, because again, that word Ejima means twin. So again, it's Ah-kwoe Ejima, twin beds. Of course, before you go to a hotel, you want to know if there's any rooms available. So is it vacant or not? Do you have any place that one can stay? So that word would be Ahere for vacancy. Ahere, vacancy. No vacancy, you run into that sometime. It's the same word, but you basically add no to the end, or more properly, does not exist. It would be Ahere Adi, no vacancy. So again, at the end of that last word, that GH sound, which looks like a GHB, it sounds like a Y in English. So it's Ahere Adi, no vacancy. Okay, wake-up call is a little more advanced to be able to say it, because you do have to drop some vowels. In that first word, oku, you actually drop the U and then run the rest of the words together, if I can say it that way, to make it simple. So for a wake-up call, it would be Okiteta Nora. Again, it's Okiteta Nora, in order to have a wake-up call. Again, comes from the root words oku, which means to call, iteta, which means to wake up, and nora means from sleep. So you're saying call to wake up from sleep, which we call a wake-up call in English. So again, it's okiteta nora, wake-up call. Now, when you start seeing those letters that look like an I, it's called a diacritic. You're basically talking about verbs at this point. So to arrive at a place, whether by the plane or you're walking up to the airport for the first time you're arriving, is ibi arute. Ibi arute, to arrive. So again, it's ibi arute, to arrive. To ask is ijo. Ijo means to ask. To buy means izota, to buy. Izota, to buy. To catch a flight, it's a little more involved to say that. And the only vowel that you're going to drop is what you call the E and the last word, which means airplane. So Obalu instead of Oba-Elu, it's Obalu, which means airplane. All right, so let's dig into that a little bit and try to pronounce that. To catch a flight, you would say Isonye na injem Obalu. Catch a flight. And that breaks down as Isonye, which means to participate. Na means and in this case, and injem means to travel. And how you travel is that last word, Obalu, which means plane. So you're in essence saying to travel by plane means to catch a flight. So it becomes again, Isonye na injem Obalu, to catch a flight. Okay, anytime you see that I diacritic character, you're talking about a verb. So to change, like if you got to change flights, for instance, to change in general, we would say Ibanwe. Ibanwe means to change. Again, it's Ibanwe, to change. To drive, Inya, to drive. Inya, to drive. To find something. It's maybe you lost a ring or something like that. You got to find it now while you're traveling. So it's ichata, to find. Ichata, to find. Again, that diacritic character that looks like an I, that makes an E sound. And the O with the dot underneath makes an aw sound, kind of like auto. Auto. So it's ichata, to find. Ichata. to find. To pack, getting ready for the trip or to leave the trip and go home, you gotta pack. So it's Ikwaka, to pack. Ikwaka, to pack. To pay for something, it's equal to pay. Equal to pay. That QW looking character is like queen. So equal to pay. Okay, to recommend. Equado, to recommend. Perhaps someone recommended a certain flight for you or a dish at the airport if you're eating. Be equado, to recommend. Again, equado, to recommend. To rent something. Maybe you have to rent a room for the night in a hotel. So you would say, ibazite. Again, that's ibazite, to rent. To see something. Maybe it's an attraction you want to say. You want to know how to say the word to see. It would be ihu, to see. Ihu, to see. To stay. It would be inado, to stay. Inado, to stay. To take off, it would be ibapo, to take off. Ibapo, to take off. To swim, our final one, which my family liked to do all the time. We would take our road trips, my dad, my mom and I, all of that. We would get in the water. Well, sometimes mom, but most of the time it was me and dad and my little brother Daryl at the time. To swim would be Igwu-Miri, to swim. Igwu-Miri. So again, I thank you for taking this journey with me on speaking and learning my ancestral tongue, which is the Igbo people of Nigeria. And we've completed this third section and final section of traveling words in the Igbo language. Take care, God bless, and hopefully in the near future we'll have more videos to come. This is my way of keeping myself accountable and to basically quiz myself to make sure I'm catching on. But if you're a native speaker, feel free to correct me and things of that nature. I'm a humble person and just trying to learn along the way. Again, I'm not a teacher, I'm a student, so I'm learning as I go. Take care and God bless, and talk to you next time. I think the next topic is going to be on school, words related to school. Have a good evening. God bless. Bye-bye.